Now at 7, a local chiropractor detained by ICE while dropping his child off at a Beaverton preschool. Why ICE says they arrested the man and what comes next for him and his family.
And Governor Kotek declares a state of emergency as the Crown fire burning in Central Oregon grows past 60,000 acres. The biggest issue crews say that they're facing as they try to contain it. Plus,
Gateway is the middle mark of everybody's travel on the bus, especially on the bus.
What are people around here going to do?
Talking about a Northeast Portland shopping staple that's set to shut down. We're going to have more on Fred Meyer's decision to close its long-standing Gateway store. And we'll hear concerns from shoppers about the ripple effects they think this will have on their neighborhood. KGW News at sunrise, the 7 o'clock hour starts right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock on your Thursday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Rod Hill still has the rest of the week off. Beginning of next week, Chris McGinnis holding down two forts. He's got your traffic, he's got your weather.
It's like months. It's just, he's got to get back here quick. Doing too much work here. All right, let's get you out the door. We are looking live right now from our Wells Fargo sky camera. It's gorgeous out there, and it's not as warm this morning as it was yesterday. 60 last check at PDX, and we were 97, by the way, yesterday. Today, we dial back the heat significantly, so just know that. 58 right now in Hillsborough, Sherwood checking in with 57. We slide down to the south. Salem was 97 yesterday. Right now, you're waking up to 59. All right, here's the plan for today. Mid-60s at 9 o'clock, mid-70s at lunchtime instead of the mid-80s. It will be warm, but I think after 97, 89 is going to feel quite a bit better. And guys, we will continue with that cooling trend heading into Friday and the weekend as well. Let's get you out the door with a live look at the roads. That is a live look at I-5 up in Clark County. We're slow and go at the Interstate Bridge at SR 14. You can see that line up steadily building now back towards Mill Plain and beyond. Our drive time right now getting in from Clark County has jumped up to about 17 minutes at last check. Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Other times are up a little bit, but not bad. Right now we're looking at about 17 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. There's the live look right now of the sunset out near 217. I do have one traffic alert to pass along, and this is for this weekend. I-5 through the Rose Quarter. Photojournalist Chad Dehart is set up here near that road sign. You can see I-5 South closed overnight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night for some road work. That closure is from 9 p.m. until as late as 5 a.m. the following morning. So if you're out on the roads late, you're going to have to take the long way around town, guys. That, of course, is over the Fremont Bridge. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 7 o'clock. ICE agents arrested a local chiropractor while he was dropping his child off at a Beaverton preschool. An ICE spokesperson said officers tried to arrest him during a traffic stop before he got to the school, but they say the man asked if he could drop his kids off first.
They say once he was in the school parking lot, he resisted arrest and wouldn't get out of his car. ICE officers then broke one of his windows and arrested him. Selene Stevens brings us more.
They smashed out his window, pulled him out.
Brendan Hendricks is talking about what happened to Dr. Mahdi Khanbabazadeh in Beaverton Tuesday morning. Hendricks learned through an email from the school that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents detained the 38-year-old chiropractor who was dropping his child off at Guidepost Montessori.
Our principal came outside and asked for identification, badges, a warrant, that information, and they did not provide any identification or any of that other information, and then proceeded to put hands on our principal.
Khanbabazadeh was then taken, leaving many shocked.
Regardless if this was a misdemeanor or a hardened criminal or whatever in between, there's no reason a preschool needed to be used as a backdrop for the operation. That's careless.
This is a surprise. I trust him with my health, and I'm shocked that he is in custody. He's a super great guy.
In a statement, ICE wrote that the doctor, who is a citizen of Iran, entered the U.S. legally but overstayed the terms of his visa. However, his wife told us that is not true and that she is trying to get him released.
A pillar of the community, so he doing everything right and helping people of all economic strata. He seemed to help everybody.
Those who know Khanbabazadeh describe him as a kind, generous, and honest man.
There's a time and place for things, and I don't want to pass judgment, but I think it begs the question, why did they have to do it there? So that's kind of theatrical, and the exposure to children is a bit of a head scratcher.
A statement from the school's regional manager says that they are actively supporting family and staff and providing resources to help them process the event. They're also looking into taking steps to make sure that their campus remains safe for everyone.
We're also hearing this morning from farming communities in southern Oregon about the ongoing threat of ICE arrests there. So some farm employers are allegedly exploiting workers' fears about immigration enforcement, particularly in the hemp and marijuana industries. Advocates for those workers say some of them aren't getting paid after a job is finished, and then they say if they complain about it, they're threatened with deportation.
The fear is real. Before 1985, before the amnesty happened, we just stay on the labor camp, we stay hiding. We don't come out so often. And I believe people are going to do the same thing, and I don't blame them.
So that same advocate we just heard from there also said that because federal law still considers growing marijuana a felony, workers at marijuana farms are often afraid to testify against their employers, even if they are being exploited.
This November, Portland voters will have to decide whether to support a large tax hike to help pay for parks. The current parks levy is expiring, and the new levy is 75% higher. City Council President Ilana Pertolgini says that without the increase, Parks and Rec would have to cut services by nearly half. Here's some of the testimony councilors heard before their vote to put the issue on the November ballot.
Affordability in Portland is facing death by 1,000 cuts, with recent huge utility hikes, large increases in parking, rideshare, and other fees, and now a major tax increase in this levy.
I encourage City Council to refer this parks levy to the November ballot. While I am no fan of additional taxes in Portland and agree with our previous speaker, I do support this levy at $1.40 because I believe in our park system and its importance to the city.
And councilors said that they were able to reduce the amount needed in the levy by making cuts to the Parks Bureau in the city budget.
Oregon and Washington have both joined another multi-state lawsuit against the Trump administration, this time for the administration shutting down a federal disaster prep program. It's the BRIC program. It funds projects to strengthen infrastructure against wildfires, floods, and other natural threats. So the states involved in this lawsuit are fighting to restore all that funding, saying that the administration actually broke the law by cutting it in the first place. Another one of our top local stories here this morning, Governor Kotek declaring a state of emergency now for the Cram Fire that continues to burn in Central Oregon. And this video we're showing you right here, captured by the state's wildfire camera, shows just how smoky it is in that area. We're talking zero visibility.
Since the fire began last Sunday, it's exploded to more than 64,000 acres and is still 0% contained. Governor Kotek's state of emergency lasts through the end of the year and will help first responders get access to resources. Fire managers say lighter winds yesterday meant fire activity was less than expected. Those winds have been one of the biggest challenges so far for crews.
The wind just kind of takes it where we can't go, and they tried really yesterday. Had a lot of airplane and aircraft, dropping retardants, buckets with helicopters that bulldozer lines, and they couldn't catch up because the fire was moving so fast.
Some 1,200 people are now under evacuation orders in both Jefferson and Wasco counties.
So yeah, the good news yesterday is that winds were lighter, but the bad news today, Chris, is winds are going to pick back up again.
Yeah, and even though the soundbite there suggesting the winds were lighter, you could still see those trees whipping around in the lighter breeze yesterday. So today, obviously concerning. This is a look back at the visible satellite imagery from yesterday over Jefferson County. I say visible because this really helps to accentuate the smoke. In the morning, the smoke was laying down, but then as the breeze picked up during the heat of the day, that plume really shot across eastern Jefferson County into portions of Crook County, Wheeler County as well. You folks are downwind of that and will deal with that ongoing smoke. You can see the plume erupt both this afternoon and again tomorrow afternoon, and the prevailing wind direction will drive that smoke in the general direction of eastern Oregon, so out towards Fossil, John Day, Baker City, etc. There is an air quality alert for that very poor air quality in Jefferson County, and also of concern outside of the ongoing fire. We know wind is not good for the ongoing fire, but a large area of north central Oregon, the Columbia Basin, portions of Washington under a red flag warning for increased fire danger today. And what that means is that conditions are favorable that if a new fire were to spark, it could quickly get going, and that's what that means. So this should go without saying, but obviously be exceptionally careful with anything that could throw a spark there. There's a look at the wind forecast through the East Gorge, really whipping. Sustained winds 15 to 25 with gusts to 40, pretty likely out towards Hood River and the Dalles. The Dalles getting up to about 95 today. Central Oregon, areas of wildfire smoke, still warm. Madras getting up to about 96. And again, look for some hazy sunshine out towards Baker City, Mitchell, John Day. LeGrand gets up to about 92 today with some areas of wildfire smoke. Contrast that with the beach. It is cloudy right now in Lincoln City, and those clouds will lift. We'll see some sun today with highs in the mid-60s, so a bit cooler for the coast today than yesterday. And the Willamette Valley right now, again, sunshine but cooler. Yesterday, Salem was 97, today 90, and we'll probably drop those temperatures a few more degrees as we head into Friday and Saturday. Longview yesterday, or Kelso, was 96, today 86. So that downward trend in the temperature department continues. In our 7-day forecast, I've got Portland at 86 tomorrow, and a nice weekend. 80-ish on Saturday, and with the upper 70s and morning cloud cover, Sunday should feel pretty nice. Let's get you out the door with a live look at the roads in Wilsonville. I-5 northbound traffic getting a little bit busier at the Wilsonville Road interchange. We'll switch gears and take you a little farther north up towards Tualatin. There you can see that northbound commute tightening up a bit. And the drive on the other side of town coming in from Clark County, that's probably our slowest drive right now. 19 minutes gets you southbound from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Outside of that, though, no major unexpected delays just yet. Drew?
Quite the story coming up here on Sunrise, Chris. We're talking about a message in a bottle thrown into the ocean 13 years ago, finally found. Really, this is a story about that Canadian couple right there, a romantic date that turned into the rest of their lives. More Sunrise after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
There are some love stories that you can only find in books, but a couple in Canada is proving that there is one for the ages.
The couple put a message in a bottle. It was found thousands of miles away, 13 years later, and this morning we're meeting the couple who wrote that note.
John and Kate Gay were walking along their local beach on the west coast of Ireland with their dog when they found a wine bottle.
Kate went and picked it up, and then I said, well, there's a message in there.
The bottle, still in good condition, the paper inside, damp, but with this message. Anita and Brad's day trip to Belle Island. Today, we enjoyed dinner, this bottle of wine, and each other on the edge of the island. If you find this, please call us. The date was September 14th, 2012.
What's so lovely is it's such a happy story. The bottle captured a happy moment, and it's arrived on our shores after going through so many storms and challenges along the way.
At first, no one answered the number from that message in the bottle, so they put a call out on Facebook. Within hours, they managed to find the Anita and Brad.
We just didn't think anyone was going to find it. Thought, let's put my parents' landline on it. And that's what they were trying to reach out to.
The Canadian couple were on a date when they got the idea.
We found a little piece of paper in the car and just scribbled a note that we thought would be, just like a private little special moment for us. And we put it in the bottle and sealed it up very tightly. And Brad threw it, just threw it into the ocean.
Never did they imagine that it would cross the Atlantic, thousands of miles away. They would go on to marry and raise 3 children 13 years later, still very much in love.
Oh, we have a family.
Beautiful family and a nice life. And
we're still in love.
like each other.
It's a love story, China.
Love story.
It's a love story on the Sunrise Show. And we are loving the sunrise this morning. Mount Hood, the Mount Hood Skycam, I should say, the Timberline Skycam, giving us this view of the sunrise on a Thursday morning. Coming off what went down in the books as the hottest day in Portland so far this year. Chris McGinnis says we hit 97 in the city yesterday. Not going to be that hot today, Chris.
No, we're not. And in fact, I don't have that in my extended forecast either. But here's a look back at some of the big numbers, high numbers from yesterday. Troutdale and Eugene, the winners in the Willamette Valley, if that's your thing, 98 degrees. Not records, but hot enough. PDX, yes, hit 97. Vancouver, McMinnville, and Kelso also hit 96, and even the North Oregon coast. 79 is warm, right? Normal highs there in the 60s. So really warm all the way to the beach. Everybody on the west side of the state will be cooler. And to Drew's point, yes, 97 was the hottest day of the year thus far. Nothing like that in our 7-day forecast. And in fact, even beyond, this is the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. And what this is showing you is the hedge as to are we going to be above or below or right about normal. And this gray shading here, we're living in the gray. What that means is there's no real sign of above or below average temperatures in the forecast through the end of the month. This goes through July 30th. So there you go. We're going to have some warm days, some not overly warm days, but no extreme heat in the forecast is basically the takeaway from that graphic. 60 degrees last check at PDX as we look live over downtown Portland. It's 59 in Woodland, 55 in Forest Grove. Big perspective across the state. Eastern Oregon in the 50s in Baker City this morning. Bend waking up to 64. And the warm spot on this map anyway, the Dalles right now sitting at 73. All right, Futurecast shows the cloud cover at the coast eroding, peeling away. So morning clouds for you and afternoon sunshine, and otherwise statewide, the rest of us should enjoy a mostly sunny but breezy day through the Columbia River Gorge and across eastern Oregon. You can see those west winds really whipping there. Of course, we've got the ongoing air quality alert for Jefferson County because of fire because of smoke from the Cram fire, and a red flag warning in effect for this entire area shaded in magenta for today and tomorrow for the gusty winds that are whipping through that very, very dry terrain. Obviously not helping the ongoing situation with the Cram fire, but also illuminating the fact that anything that could throw a spark could easily get out of hand very, very quickly today in conditions like this. It's still going to be hot across that part of the state. The Dalles may be 93. That number might be a little toasty for Arlington, but there could be some upper 90s out across the Columbia Basin. Bend gets to 91. 89 here in Portland, Salem, Corvallis after highs in the upper 90s yesterday. So that should feel a little bit better. I've got us at 86 tomorrow. And then the cooling trend continues into the weekend. 80 on Saturday. Sunday is going to be a pretty cloudy start, I think, to our morning. Maybe even some drizzle along the North Oregon coast. But the end result here is a dry forecast and one that keeps us certainly cooler than where we've been the last couple of days. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. Back to Wilsonville we go. There's I-5 traffic zipping right along through the Wilsonville Road interchange. It's busy, but it's moving. Here's Interstate 84, the Banfield. Out near 82nd Avenue, that too, fairly busy, but moving along. And one last check here, the trip out of Clark County, I-5 at SR 500. Obviously slow and go from there down to the Interstate Bridge. Right now, 20 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont. And a quick look at the drive times on the west side. They are about what we would expect for this time of a Thursday. I had to think about a Thursday morning drive. China, Drew, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. So this is not exactly what you want to see during your morning commute. Get it? Egg.
Exactly, baby.
Exactly.
Egg. Exactly.
So thousands of rotten eggs spilled all over the road. We'll bring you the full story plus more national headlines coming up after the break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Let's take a look at some national headlines this morning with your morning rush. White House officials are reportedly traveling to San Francisco Bay today to formally launch an effort to turn Alcatraz back into a federal prison. The office of Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi confirmed this visit, but we haven't heard anything official yet from the White House. Meanwhile, Connie Francis, the pop and country singer who rose to stardom during the 1950s and 60s, has died. That's according to her publicist. Her hits included Where the Boys Are and Who's Sorry Now. She made history in 1960, becoming the first woman to top Billboard's Hot 100 with the song Everybody's Somebody's Fool. We don't know her cause of death yet. We do know Connie Francis was 87 years old. President Trump is on the record saying that Coca-Cola has agreed to start using real cane sugar in Coke here in the U.S. Switching from high fructose corn syrup to cane sugar would put the U.S. more in line with other countries that already use cane sugar in Coke, like Mexico and Australia. Diet Coke in the U.S., though, will not change. A spokesperson for Coca-Cola said the company appreciates the president's enthusiasm and promised more details on this potential change a little later. All right, this story flat out stinks. No other way around it. A truck hauling a dump trailer spilled about 20,000 eggs onto this road in Pennsylvania. The worst part, those eggs were all rotten. They were on their way to a mulch facility when they spilled. An absolutely stinky story out of Pennsylvania today, and that wraps up your morning rush. Back here closer to home, Fred Meyer says its Gateway store in Northeast Portland is going to close for good, although we don't know exactly when yet. We do know just last month, Fred Meyer's parent company, Kroger, said it was shutting down about 60 of its stores all across the country. KGW's Alma McCarty has more after speaking to some Fred Meyer shoppers.
At the Gateway Fred Meyer Wednesday afternoon,
That just shocked the mess out of me, hearing that.
customers stream in and out of the store, some stopping to react to its eventual shutdown.
The closing is not good, not for this area.
It's going to destroy the neighborhood. What are people around here going to do?
Corporate explaining this was a difficult decision, part of, quote, a larger company-wide decision to run more efficiently and ensure the long-term health of our business. Employees here will be offered the opportunity, they say, to transfer to a new location.
Gateway is the middle mark of everybody's travel on the bus, especially on the bus.
This store among the 60 locations that Kroger, the nation's largest supermarket chain, plans to close over the next 18 months. In a statement, a spokesperson for the workers' union said, while we are sad to see the Gateway Fred Meyer location close, our first priority is supporting our members. explaining union reps have been on site to discuss placement options. Shoppers like Mark Leslie can understand the why.
You can't go in the back door. It's all security, and it's a mess. And I just prefer, sometimes I go here, but seldom.
However, losing such a large supermarket he fears could have ripple effects.
The whole property, then it's going to sit vacant, and then you're going to have 500 people with tents here.
And even though there's a Winco across Northeast 102nd, Devin Wilson worries that too could spell trouble.
Now this Winco is now overwhelmed. This Winco is now overwhelmed with people. And this is a major place. I mean, Gateway is right there, right?
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Meanwhile, hundreds of college interns are putting what they learned in the classroom to use at Nike. We're talking about the Nike Intern Combine. It's a highly competitive program. It actually reels in about 70,000 applicants each year, but only takes 200 students. Sophia Bell was a basketball standout at Jesuit High School. She currently plays basketball at the University of Oregon, and she told us this program is really opening up her eyes to other opportunities when she's done with hoops.
I'm working in women's basketball footwear as a product line management intern, so I've had the chance to work on a brief for an upcoming shoe in summer 2027.
So this year's internship is still underway. Students still have another couple of weeks to go. But today is the big day when they present their projects to Nike managers. 7:30 half-hour sunrise here on KGW Plus is just a couple of minutes away. We'll have more on today's weather with Chris McGinnis in just a few minutes.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 7:29 on our Thursday morning drive. Let's take you down to Tualatin, I-5 through the 205 interchange. There's your northbound commutes moving from right to left. It's a little busy on that side of town, not unusually so, but still busy enough. I-5 through Wilsonville, again, not quite the speed limit drive that we were seeing earlier. 24 minutes gets you in from Wilsonville Road to downtown. There's a quick check of the drive out of Clark County. That is slow and steady on I-5. 205 not bad, but I-5 is the normal slow and go action coming in from SR 500. And at last check, it's about a 23-minute commute to get you in from Main Street south of I-405 and the Fremont Bridge. All right, let's give you the live look over downtown Portland this morning. Our camera pointed down along the south waterfront and the sun over to the left, the Willamette River down below, and it's beautiful. It's 60 degrees last check at PDX. Our plan for today keeps us shy of the 90-degree mark, just shy. I've got Portland at 89, Salem at 89 after a high of 97 yesterday, so today should certainly feel a little bit better. 7-day forecast continues that cooling trend into the weekend. 86 tomorrow, maybe keeping it in the 70s by Sunday.
Good morning. Not necessarily for Harry Potter actress Emma Watson, though. She's been banned from driving for 6 months. She was caught going 38 and 30. This happened in Oxford, England, and you have to wonder why she's banned from driving. Also, just so you know, she was fined about $1,400 for this, but this isn't a problem. She can't drive anymore for 6 months because Watson already had 9 penalty points on her license before the speeding ticket, leading to the temporary ban. So 8 miles over, boom, she can't drive for 8 months.
Well, that explains it, right? How many, I'm going to go back to that information there.
Points on the license.
9 penalty points on her license before that ticket?
So let's see, she was probably doing 100 miles an hour before, and then 50 over, and then it was the 8 that finally got her.
Yes. Well, you did a story not too long ago about people like wondering how far over the speed limit can you really go before police are going to pull you over?
It just depends on how much of an outlaw you are before you get pulled over.
Yeah, you can't teach your kids, if the speed limit's 35, you can't tell your kids, you can get away with 40. No, you just drive the speed limit. It's the only thing you can definitely get away with.
And I definitely see lots of you not driving the speed limit. I also caught another blatant red light run. I mean, this was, I'm going to show this, maybe I'll show it tomorrow.
Driving me crazy
Drive
segment on the way.
Me crazy, it never runs out, unfortunately. All right, let's get you out the door. The story today is cooler after a very hot day yesterday. Cooler is our story. Right now we're 60 degrees on downtown Portland. Yesterday, 97, not a record, but the hottest day of the year so far. That was yesterday. Today, slightly cooler to start the morning. 58 in Hillsborough, 62 King City, the big perspective across the state. Right now, Salem waking up to 59. The warm spot on this map, the Dalles, at 73. All right, the plan for today, mid to upper 70s at lunchtime. I thought we would see some morning cloud cover, but so far that hasn't gotten much farther than the Kelso Longview area. So maybe staying with the full sunshine here in the Rose City, but I think also staying in the 80s for highs. Just shy of 90 today. And again, that cooling trend continues as we go into Friday, Saturday, and the weekend. We'll look at that in a few minutes. Let's look at the roads right now. Your morning commute getting busier, but not bad. I-5 in Tualatin, there's your northbound commute moving from right to left. That's near 205. It's busy but moving. I-5 through the Wilsonville area. Again, busy but moving, keeping with that theme out there of, traffic seems to be zipping along mostly okay for this hour of a Thursday morning commute. Right now, the drive-in from Troutdale is about 23 minutes. Here's the live look up at I-5 and SR 500 in Clark County. All 3 lanes puttering along down towards the Interstate Bridge. At last check, that is almost a 25-minute ride to get you in from Main Street. China?
Thank you, Chris. This morning, we have a follow-up to a KGW investigation into the dangers surrounding nitrous oxide, otherwise known as laughing gas.
KGW investigative reporter Kyle Boshi has been reporting on the local spike in these cases for months. So in this update, he's looking at what he found is the greatest risk of all, what people do while they're huffing the drug.
It's the phone call we all fear, a loved one killed in a crash. On May 14, 2022, John Curtis got that call.
Yeah. I'll never forget it.
His father, Carl Curtis, and longtime partner, Yvonne Levy, had been killed in a crash just hours after attending a family wedding.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Still don't want to believe it.
According to police, the driver of this red Mazda veered across multiple lanes of Highway 20 in Lynn County, slamming head-on into Carl and Yvonne's silver sedan. The driver of that red Mazda, Robert Prettyman, survived, along with his 3-year-old daughter, who was a passenger in the car. Investigators said Prettyman was impaired. A search of his car found 46 used Whippet brand nitrous oxide canisters, court records show, and another 78 unused chargers in his daughter's Minnie Mouse backpack. A judge sentenced Prettyman to 8 years in prison for manslaughter.
The fact that this guy had over 70 cans of this nitrous in his daughter's backpack. I was like, who does this?
Nitrous oxide chargers are intended for bakers and baristas to make whipped cream, or so the label says. But it's being misused by people inhaling the gas to get high.
I didn't even realize I didn't know what whippets were, until this happened.
KGW found nitrous oxide widely available at gas stations, convenience stores, and mini-marts in sizes absurd for chefs, but ideal for huffing. As part of our ongoing investigation, we examine the dangers of nitrous oxide, not only for the people misusing the drug, but for everyone on the road. We found nearly 24 cases in Oregon over the past 6 years where drivers who'd been using inhalants were arrested or involved in an accident. Our full investigation coming up tonight at 6. Kyle.
Again, that was Kyle Aboshi reporting for us this morning. Milwaukee police, meanwhile, have released new body cam video that shows a driver slamming into the back of one of their patrol cars. Here's a look.
We're having a hard time seeing it there, brother. Thank you, man. One Murray 2. I just had a car crash into the back of my patrol car and almost ran me over.
So for starters, we'll let you know that police officer is okay. This happened, by the way, last Friday on Highway 224 while the officer was performing a traffic stop. You saw that second vehicle hit the officer's car. Authorities say it's this kind of behavior that they're going to look for during an enforcement mission happening today. And there's also a reminder to this story. It is the law to move over for emergency vehicles or slow down by at least 5 miles an hour.
An Oregon man was arrested in Washington, D.C. after finding several weapons inside his car. So officers say 23-year-old Nolan Churin from Myrtle Point had guns, knives, a sword, bow and arrow, among other things. They say there was also a tricycle strapped to the roof of the car. Now, Churin faces multiple weapons charges, and investigators are still trying to figure out why he was in D.C. in the first place.
Portland city officials say overall, crime has gone down near 2 recently opened overnight shelters, but numbers suggest that there are crimes that have increased in those areas. So the Strategic Services Division of Portland Police tracked the number of crimes at the overnight shelter on Southwest 2nd Avenue and also the one over on North Williams Avenue. 6 months after that shelter opened, the first one that is, the number of aggravated assaults and robberies went down, but the amount of vehicle thefts and drug offenses went up. The city said increased enforcement is driving the rise in drug offenses. Numbers from the North Williams location, meanwhile, showed small decreases in aggravated assault and vandalism, but nearly double the amount of vehicle thefts. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says the city will help neighborhoods with shelters, but some Portlanders say they're still concerned.
When you have a shelter, you're going to see an increase in street sweeping, graffiti abatement. We're going to focus on addressing drug use and drug dealing. Those are all the things that we're going to see, you're going to see mitigated and reduced dramatically.
No matter how the City Hall wants to jigger the numbers, I mean, rocks are hard and water's wet, and people can see with their own eyes and the results of what's happening.
I've never heard that figure of speech used before.
I like
rocks are hard. Yeah, rocks are hard. Water's wet. And we have more details on this story, including more numbers from Portland Police about these findings. It's available at KGW.com.
This story definitely pulls on your heartstrings here. We've all heard about Narcan saving people exposed to fentanyl, but it was a first for crews in Washington who had to use it to save a puppy. Earlier this week, firefighters were called to do a medical check on someone who was under investigation, but they weren't the only ones that needed to be checked on. A lieutenant noticed a puppy right there. You see it in the suspect's car. It was not in good shape. So the paramedics were told that there were opioids in the suspect's car, so they used Narcan to try to save the puppy's life.
In this situation with this dog, since the nose was so small, I just used a little bit of the tip and in a very small dose since it was a small puppy.
Yeah, after a couple of minutes, the puppy, back to normal though, happily licking people. The puppy was then left in the care of Animal Services.
I am proud to present to you the 2025 Ohio State Fair OhioEggs.com featured flavor of the year, which is chocolate chip cookie dough.
One of the longest introductions in the history of the Sunrise Show, but the bottom line is we have this year at the Ohio State Fair. Chocolate chip cookie dough deviled eggs.
Yeah, okay.
That's the featured flavor at the fair this year, but there are other deviled egg flavors that they're featuring at the Ohio State Fair, and they include hot honey everything, sriracha peach, Columbus pizza, that's in Columbus, Ohio, spicy crunchy is a flavor, and cranberry feta. I will tell you, gang, I don't know, are you guys into this hot honey deal? Like, I don't know when you're not familiar with hot honey?
Interesting.
Are you familiar with this?
Spicy.
Like hot honey has become a thing. You can actually buy it in the stores, and it's like a spicy honey, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's great on pizza. It's great on a lot of things. So hot honey, if you haven't had it yet and you like a little spicy and a little sweet, you might want to check it out.
Hot honey.
You're not familiar with it? I thought you would know, be all over this hot honey thing.
No, I don't like honey, so maybe that's why.
Oh, well, there you go.
But if it doesn't taste like honey,
no, it tastes
I'll
like
try it.
It tastes like hot honey.
Okay, no.
You're not going to like it. Chris, no hot honey for her.
Okay. No hot honey for you. No hot honey for any of us this morning now. Let's go ahead and, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Notable highs from yesterday. We were dealing with some, not record highs, but certainly some hot stuff. 98 in Troutdale and Eugene, not records, but the hottest temperatures of the year thus far at PDX at 97, 96 in Vancouver. So we are done with that. Not only are we done with that for today, but here's the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. We're done with it for probably the next 10 to 14 days. As temperatures, there's no strong sign, yes or no, towards really hot weather in the forecast. So that's the bottom line, is we're done with the really high heat. I mean, we may hit 90 between now and the end of the month, but no near 100-degree heat. Wells Fargo sky camera showing a clear sky over downtown at 60 last check at PDX. And the plan for the rest of the day today in the upper 80s today. We stopped shy of 90, I think, here in Portland. There will be some morning cloud cover along the coast. Here's a look at Futurecast, and you can see that depicted nicely. But other than that, most of the state should see a mostly to fully sunny day today, with Futurecast again showing temperatures in the Willamette Valley and the I-5 corridor topping out near but probably just shy of the 90-degree mark. Longview, Kelso yesterday was 96. How about 82 to 84 for you folks today? So cooler there. Breezy and warm still to hot through the gorge, though. And again, that wind does prompt high fire concerns from the Hood River Valley out through the Columbia Basin today and tomorrow. Today, 89 in Portland, 86 tomorrow. And the cooling trend continues into the weekend. It's a lovely weekend ahead. Sunday may be a day that wakes up to quite a bit of cloud cover that may stick around for quite a while. And that's why I've chopped our temperature down to about 78. So we'll see if that happens. But not a drop of rain in the forecast. Not that that is all that unusual. All right, let's get you out the door. We start off on the east side of Vancouver. Not sure if this disabled vehicle is what's causing the slowing, but as we show you the camera here up near SR 500 and I-205, traffic a little slow getting onto I-205 southbound here from SR 500. I'll keep you posted on that. But for right now, most of the drive on that side of town is in pretty good shape. Door number 2 will switch gears, take you down to Tualatin I-5 through that interchange. Is a little thick, but not bad. 30 minutes gets you in from Wilsonville to the Markham Bridge. 25, your inbound drive on the Sunset. And last but not least, the drive out of Clark County on I-5. This is normal and slow at that. 24 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China and Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. We know yesterday hit 97 degrees here in Portland, the warmest day of the year so far in the city, but cooling shelters in Multnomah County still weren't open.
So that meant a homeless woman who is 9 months pregnant and addicted to fentanyl was stuck in the heat. Blair Best brings us her story.
On this corner of Old Town.
Tough some days like tough.
Stephanie Gomez counts the days.
9 months.
She's homeless and pregnant with her 5th child. This one unplanned.
I'm getting later and I'm slowing down and I have to keep us safe. And that's just the biggest part, is just like keeping us safe and out of harm's way.
Stephanie is also addicted to fentanyl. Those close to her say she uses the drug every 15 minutes.
I'm not really worried about it. It seems like a lot of people that have delivered with fentanyl seem to be okay. Their kids seem to be okay.
Research shows fentanyl can have devastating impacts on babies exposed to the drug during pregnancy. For Stephanie, it's been 1 year living on these streets, she says.
I was actually married and had kids, and I've been a stay-at-home mom, and so I've always had a place to live. In Portland? In Portland. Oh, okay. I was a normal society member. I went to school, I graduated, I took care of kids, I've done and anybody can end up here, I guess.
It was after a divorce she became homeless and proud to have made it this far, she tells me.
I feel almost accomplished, I guess. I feel close to a point of where I want to be, and that's giving a healthy delivery. There's been quite a few pregnancies out here, but everyone else is taking it pretty well. There's been a lot of people having babies and going to rehabs and things like that. So
do you think this will be kind of the turning moment for you?
Possibly.
On Wednesday, amid the extreme heat, volunteer outreach workers tried taking Stephanie to Project Nurture, a group helping pregnant women like her struggling with addiction.
I feel okay about it. I feel a little like overwhelmed, but I feel excited, I guess, to see what's next.
5 minutes later and a block away, Stephanie changes her mind.
I feel like just overwhelmed right now. Like I don't necessarily want to go and like deal or just, I don't know.
Shortly after that, she changes her mind again.
Laying out my options and what there is to do now. I feel like I'll be okay. Like the baby will be okay. We'll be okay.
Coming up, James Louie, the co-owner of Huber's Cafe, has died at the age of 79. We'll take a look back on his impact on one of the Rose City's most iconic restaurants after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back to Sunrise. The latest edition of KGW's Pacific Storyland focuses on Huber's Cafe co-owner James Louie, who passed away earlier this week. Catherine Cook gives us a look this morning at his life, his legacy, and what he meant to a Portland favorite.
It's dinner time at Huber's Cafe, Portland's oldest restaurant. Open since 1879 and known best for its Spanish coffees, guests here have come to expect a little more.
Not just good food, but there's a lot of fellowship in here.
Most people will tell you James Kai Louie
This was like a breath of fresh air.
is the biggest reason for that.
Dad is the one that made Huber's what it is today. Whoever you were, he made you feel special.
Louie's son, James, says his father passed away Monday from sudden organ failure. He was 79.
So many people want to tell us their stories about Dad, so this has been comforting for us.
That includes manager Roxanne Lau.
We're doing this for him, and we're hugging each other a lot.
She started working here as a server 25 years ago. She says James always led by example.
You just want to do your best, and you see the elegance that he had just walking around the room, knowing everyone's name.
The walls inside Huber's are covered with accolades and family. In 1912, Louie's great-uncle Jim, a Chinese immigrant, began working at Huber's. Many decades later, the Huber family sold half the restaurant to him for $1. Since then, 4 generations of Louie's have owned it. That includes David Louie. His brother, James, meant the world to him.
He taught me how to play baseball, you know.
David points to the photo of Ted Williams hanging in the corner. James put it there.
He got me to root for the Boston Red Sox, which was, you know, really painful because they didn't win. They never won, not until 2004.
The Louies know a lot about pushing through hard times, hoping for a win. Running the restaurant wasn't easy, especially during a low point in the 70s. The brothers agreed to put Huber's on the market, and it sold. But at the last minute, James changed his mind, and they pulled out of the deal.
Okay, we'll just keep plugging away at it. And
are you glad he changed?
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, it wasn't too long after that we started doing the Spanish coffees.
That signature drink put Huber's on the map. It also reminds James of something his father would often say.
We are in the business of showing people a good time. And I know my dad's line of thought was, well, when you have people over at your house, you want to give them the best.
It's what he gave everyone for 79 years. In downtown Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
My second Thanksgiving here in Portland was 2001. My sister flew in with my brother-in-law and their 2-year-old daughter at the time, my niece, and I was like, I'm not making Thanksgiving dinner. So we had Thanksgiving dinner that year at Huber's. It was awesome. And James Louie, I know you never had a chance to meet him, but guy was always dressed to the nines. And we did a couple of early morning live shots there over the years, and every time we showed up there, 4:30 in the morning, he was there in his full suit, all buttoned up and ready to go. Really cool dude.
That's awesome.
So he will be missed in the restaurant community here for sure.
That was announced yesterday, right before our noon show, and when it came out, you were.
Well, I didn't know about his death. I knew James a little bit, and I knew that this was a big deal for the city of Portland.
Yeah, you got sad.
Yeah. All right, city of Portland, very hot yesterday as well. Downtown Portland, 97 degrees. I think I'm remembering that right, Chris McGinnis. Was that the final score yesterday? 97 degrees?
95 downtown, 97 officially at PDX. That's the number that goes in the climate log. Yes, so you were correct in terms of what officially goes in the log for PDX yesterday. The hottest day of the year thus far. And nothing like that in the extended forecast, not only in the next 7 days, but more than likely not through the end of July. Now, that's not to say we're not going to get some heat wave in August, but over the next 8 to 10 days, things should be much more tolerable, if you will. All right, mostly clear over downtown right now. It's 60 last check at PDX. I do want to take you back real quick yesterday. We've been talking about the Cram Fire, which exploded in Jefferson County over the weekend and continues to grow here unchecked at this point. The smoke laid down yesterday, and then during the heat of the day, you can see the plume quickly gushing on off to the east. And I expect more of the same today, unfortunately. The air quality alert continues for Jefferson County today because of poor air quality and the smoke around that. In addition, with a change of air mass here west side of the state, those gusty winds will now translate over the Cascades through the gorge. And that means that in addition to the concerns for the ongoing Cram Fire, the red flag warning for today and tomorrow means that conditions are favorable for rapid fire development. Should something spark a fire, things could really get out of hand quickly. So, and this should go without saying this time of the year, but especially today, be exceptionally careful with anything that could throw a spark. As far as the smoke from the Cram Fire is concerned, each afternoon, the billowing smoke builds. This is Futurecast at 5:30, our smoke modeling showing Jefferson County, Wheeler and Grant County, southern, into the blues anyway. You're going to see that smoke in your sky, as you will out towards Baker County, the Wallowas as well. So just be aware of that. The gusty winds are really going to be an issue through the East Gorge today. West winds whipping upwards of 40 miles an hour with the gusts. Same story over towards Central Oregon as well. So that's unfortunate news right now for the ongoing firefighting efforts there. Hood River today a bit cooler than yesterday, 90, 95 in the Dalles again. You folks under that red flag warning for enhanced fire danger today. It'll be warm in Central Oregon, Madras 96. And again, there will be some areas of wildfire smoke in the air, and that smoke, that high smoke, will drift towards Baker City, Burns, LeGrand, into, say, John Day and Fossil, etc. All right, switching gears, it's foggy right now along the Oregon coast, 56 in Lincoln City. That fog will lift, and it should be a pretty nice day after the fog clears. 67 in Astoria. Astoria was 79 yesterday. Salem right now waking up to temperatures near 60. Yesterday you were 97 I said? How about 90 today? So we are dialing back the heat just a little bit. 96 in Kelso yesterday. Today, 86 in Longview. So again, not as hot. That's the trend for today, tomorrow, and into the weekend. Weekend forecast looks great. Sunday is a day that I think we wake up to some clouds, maybe a little drizzle at the coast, and that will certainly keep temperatures cooler, but no sign of any excessive heat in the next 7 to 10 days. All right, real quick with a TriMet traffic alert here. We're hearing about some police activity near the convention center. TriMet's now saying that the blue, red, and green MAX lines are not stopping at the convention center. They're recommending folks use the Rose Quarter Transit Center instead. We're working to get more details on that. I'll bring those to you just as soon as we have them. Meanwhile, the drive, busy on the east side of Vancouver. I'm not sure what's hanging up I-205 southbound, but it is a little slow from St. John's Road down towards SR 500. We'll stay on top of that for you. At SR 500, you can see once you get there, the southbound commute does open up pretty nicely. I-5, the end of the line, has made its way south of SR 500, so we're improving there. 25 minutes gets you in from Main Street south to the Fremont Bridge. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Hey, check this out. The Albina Library almost ready to reopen as the largest new library in Portland in more than a century. This comes after a $55 million renovation to preserve and expand the building on Northeast Russell Street. New features include a teen room, sensory room, community spaces, and local art throughout.
We're so excited to welcome the community back to Albina Library. We have greatly expanded this building. We have fully restored and maintained our historic Carnegie building and added an additional 22,000 square feet.
The grand reopening celebration is this Saturday and Sunday. Coming up at 8 o'clock, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with the latest details on a local chiropractor arrested by ICE while dropping his child off at a Beaverton preschool.
That story and other local stories, plus Chris's forecast, all of that coming up at 8.